Dear Pixie, we understand the seeking and questioning natures that so many of you have. From our perspective, we must find the balance between giving you the knowledge you seek, which we so dearly want to do, and keeping you in a state of wondering, seeking and exploring, which we must do if we wish to honour the laws of free will. Your questioning has become vast now, and we are very pleased at that, for those who question in this deep manner are the ones for whom the awakening and ascending is taking place. However, if we were to give you all the answers on a plate, as it were, we would change the questioning within you, which would change the chemical flowing within your bodies. We turn then to the subject of biology to bring forward as much information as we can in response to the next questions. We would also like to point out that the conduit through whom we speak has very limited understanding of biological structure. Therefore, we will use terminology within her human capacity that is available to us, and it is for those who have understanding of biology to translate that which we say. The question asked was, what happens to our actual human bodies in 2012? Do we disappear, or evaporate, or do we stay physical? Firstly, the changes taking place are not centred upon the culmination of the ascension from your linear perspective. The 2012 winter solstice is the return to the core, the moment of singularity and the pinnacle of the ascension. It is the top of the mountain, so to speak. The ascension process, however, is an ongoing process that is occurring right now and shall continue well past 2012. For dear inhabitants of Earth, you are always in a state of descent or ascent, depending on the lessons and the realizations of the soul. Currently, in your timeline, you are on the wave of ascent. There are changes within the human body, and these changes are taking place now. They culminate at their highest point when you reach the core, but the changes continue to take place after that. This is what you know as evolution. But evolution occurs in a way that many of you have not been made aware of in your earthly, scholarly teachings. Therefore, we would explain a little of the pattern of evolution before explaining the changes occurring in the body. Evolution is not that which functions in a linear line, but rather loops itself out of time at certain periods, which can be calculated through mathematical understanding of phi, the golden mean, or phi. Therefore, evolution is managed by a carefully constructed time clock and is not random as many of you may have thought. Evolution occurs slowly, but during these precise moments during the history of a universe, the rate at which evolution occurs within a species shoots up to a very fast pace. This is because you are approaching the core of the spiral. Evolution and the return to the core are inexplicably entwined. So we return to biology. The changes taking place start at the molecular level within the body. The positrons and electrons change their forces. Matter and antimatter shall meet. This will move humanity, those that ascend, from carrying the carbon-based molecule to the crystalline molecule. Therefore, it is true to say you are moving into a crystalline form. This does not mean you are turning into a crystal, although, in actuality, that is what is happening to you. But this is happening at the molecular level. What therefore does this mean for you and for your changing form? It means far more life force will be assimilated and held by the Ascended One. It allows a far greater percentage of universal energy to flow through you, and it allows the brain electricity to turn on, as it were, and function at full capacity. There will be no aging as you know it, and that which you know as death will be a conscious choice, not something which you currently perceive as being out of your control. There will be more dexterity and balance within your bodies. You will feel lighter, and indeed shall be lighter, as your bodies will have less density. But in essence, these changes shall be subtle, and you will be the same as before. You will have greater control about how you look, your health, and your ability to regenerate will be far greater. Disease is not something the Ascended One would need to worry about. There will still be inconsistencies in balance, which are easily remedied by healing practices all shall understand. Therefore, one is kept in balance by one's own inner healer, as it were. There is also more we could speak of, but we know we must keep an element of surprise within the Ascending One, as this feeling is part of the process and will instigate a chemical change. Liken this to the metaphor of us being your parents, and as Christmas Day is approaching, our children are asking what their presents are. We would not tell them, for we would not wish to take away their delight of discovery on Christmas Day. This does not mean we are not permitted to impart all knowledge to you. This means that we are to give you clues and metaphors of all knowledge, so that a percentage shall be worked out by yourselves and precipitate the chemical change. However, we know some of your questionings come from fear and confusion, and it is these emotions we would wish to ease. This is why we come forward with our responses to your questioning. However, know that we cannot wipe your fears and confusions away for you. And dear Lightworkers, you each have the tools within you to do this for yourselves and remove fears and confusions from others. You asked, do we disappear or evaporate, or do we stay physical? You indeed stay physical, yet the physical is different, yet similar than the one you know now. There is no evaporation from our perspective, and we cannot conceive of that word having meaning in this process. However, disappear is most definitely an appropriate word to use here. It may well be the case that some of you will disappear. Of course, you will not have gone anywhere. What we would say to explain this disappearance is that the vibratory level of your bodies are moving at such a high octave that you will not be seen by others of lower density. We would impart to you the information now that there are those amongst you now for whom this phenomenon has already happened. And also, we may say that from your perspective, we may appear to be invisible. Yet we assure you we are not, and that we exist in the same place you do. We vibrate within a much higher density. This is what we mean when we say you will ascend to 5th density. You are becoming lighter and less dense and are vibrating quicker into your light bodies, encompassing your higher selves whilst moving within the spiral to the core. The ascension is taking place within the cosmos, within the quantum fields, and within your own biological makeup.